Speculation about whether Trump would run for president for a third time in 2024 began pretty much the second that he lost to Joe Biden in 2020. And each step along the way, Trump has been pretty clear with his public remarks that at least, if nothing else, he wants people to plan on him running for a number of different reasons. But recently, reporting has come out showing that he may be planning on announcing a 2024 run a lot earlier than most people expected. So let's take a look at that. Reading from CBS, former President Donald Trump has privately told allies and aides in recent days that he is seriously considering announcing a 2024 presidential run as early as this summer, CBS News has learned. Even as Trump moves closer to a 2024 run, his deliberations remain fluid. So this is very interesting. The center point of our story today is Trump may announce early, and we'll talk about why. But this little part of the article reveals that he's actually not decided yet. So he's either going to announce early or he's actually kind of not sure though. And that's very interesting because I thought he would have made up his mind by now. Continuing, no final decision has been made on whether to run and if so, when to launch such a bid, according to 3 people close to Trump who requested anonymity in order to share details on private conversations. Spokesperson for Trump did not immediately respond to a request for comment on Sunday. So that's kind of analyzing. He's not sure yet, and he's still trying to figure it out. Fascinating. Several people who have spoken to Trump recently told CBS News that Trump and his small group of top advisors are now mapping out various ways for Trump to announce a 2024 campaign, be it this summer or after this year's midterm elections. Traditionally, major party presidential candidates wait until well after the fall elections before jumping into presidential campaign mode. An early Trump launch before the November elections could upend campaigning strategies for both parties. So that's really interesting because announcing the summer before a midterm is very bizarre, and that would change the political landscape a lot with situations in his own party about people wanting to run it, but then also the Democrats' strategy. Because if Trump has a multiple month jump on public campaigns where he's clear that he's running for president, where he's bashing the Democrats, and the Democrats are just standing by without any coherent plan for their race against him, that could give him kind of a head start in getting ahead in the minds of voters a little bit more. Others close to Trump say that his anger toward the televised House January 6th committee hearings is fueling his motivation to run again and potentially to announce soon. Some people close to Trump said he feels he is not being defended well by Republicans and believes he alone is best positioned to defend himself. So one of the reasons he might want to announce early is he doesn't feel, with all of the public thrashing of him as an individual that is happening right now because of the January 6th hearings, he feels being a presidential candidate will allow him to have the platform necessary to properly defend himself. Another reason that has been floated for why he might be wanting to announce early is he's seeing Ron DeSantis, as well as a few other but less significant options, rising in the Republican Party as possible 2024 presidential candidates. And so he likely hopes that if he goes ahead and announces early, he will stop the bleeding of him losing relevance, sort of, and losing that unilateral control of the Republican Party slowly, but it definitely is happening, especially with these January 6th hearings. And so announcing early could reinvigorate the strength and control he has over the party and over his own movement and stamp down any possible DeSantis run, for example. So it's so fascinating that he isn't sure at this point, though, behind the scenes, because I was confident that he had at least made up his mind. I'm not running, but I'm going to keep pretending like it so I can stay relevant, so that I stay in the public eye, or I'm definitely running, which is what I thought his decision was based on his public statements. But no, it looks like he's still trying to figure it out behind the scenes, but then he's thinking, if I decide to run, I want to announce early so that I can be the complete center of attention when it comes to possible Republican candidates in 2024, and also be able to more effectively publicly defend myself against all of the revelations that are coming out of the January 6th hearings. So fascinating stuff. Let me know where you stand. Would you rather see a Democrat go up against Trump or go up against a different candidate? Do you think it's a good strategy for Trump to announce early if he is running again? And what is your analysis of all of that? Please let me know both in the comments of the YouTube video, but you can also tweet me on Twitter at Luke P. Beasley. Don't forget to be following my Twitter.